Now joining me in studio, Flame Monroe, and she is a unique character. I saw her on Netflix in Tiffany Haddish's They Ready. I was watching, honestly, for Ida Rodriguez, who is a TYT regular, and she was fantastic. Then I kept on watching, and I saw Flame Monroe, and I thought, geez, Lord mercy, she's strong. I like her.
Okay. More than you know, Cenk. More than you know. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. All my ladies were great on They Ready. They were all fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody did their thing.
But no, you lived up to your name. You lit that place on fire.
We've been trying to do that for years. So everybody just continue to fan the flame because it is very hot right now, Cenk. I brought you a fan too, Cenk, before they.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give you a fan lesson later because you know you white people. It takes white people just a little bit longer.
and whatever I am, but anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I have the issues on race and that you have on gender. Nobody knows what I am. They don't know if I'm white, brown. The other day, even my daughter thought I was. She's like, "Well, weren't you part of the civil rights movement?" I said, "Why?" She said, "You're black, aren't you, Dad?" I was like, okay.
We all a little something. I just happen to be something else. Yeah, I think we make a whole lot of big to do about this whole sexual thing and race thing, and you know we all racist to some aspect. Everyone, I believe that is. Just even if it's a smidgen. So, and if you tell yourself that you're not, you're lying to yourself. Because even children see color, but children learn hate from the home that they grow up in or the environment. Because my children, I am the most abstract dad in America. My kids thought that men without breasts were strange. So yeah, for the first 3 or 4 years, I was able to fool them. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's what you make it. You know, I'm not gonna argue about that.
So Flame, so let's break it down.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do you consider yourself? Because I know you don't love the titles and you talk about it in your comedy show, etc. But what would you call yourself? Are you, first of all, transgender? Is that right?
I am a comedian that happens to be transgender.
That's right.
I'm also a black man. I'm also a dad. I'm a parent. I've been a lot of things, but I'm here. And I'm relevant, and I have a story to tell, and I'm going to tell it.
And you're bisexual?
I haven't bought it in years. No, I'm very attracted to very masculine lesbian women or trans men. That is my get down.
Fascinating.
I'm breaking it down too.
Oh yeah, you're breaking it down.
So let me paint the picture for you, like Miss Sophia from the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
So the women that I'm attracted to are very petite, small, but they look exactly like men. Some of them have had top surgery, but never the bottom surgery. They treat me like a woman for 23 hours a day. They treat me like I am their wife for 23 hours a day.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you marinate on that last hour. Somebody gotta do it. It might as well be me.
Okay, who doesn't love Flame Monroe? Okay, anyway, so. All right, so the last hour you guys are doing different things, and that's how you got 3 kids. You have 3 kids.
3 kids.
And they're your natural kids?
They are my natural children the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
I was on the rhythm method, but my dancing been off for years.
Okay, so wait up. Now, were they all from one woman or no?
No, I have 2 different kids, Mom. My son is one woman, and my daughters is by the love of my life. I was in love with this woman like you wouldn't believe, and it just didn't work out. So, but they're both named Tasha, so it was easy to keep the names, you know, in the same. Yeah, we didn't make it difficult.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's one thing that you've been consistent on. It's love and Tasha's. Okay.
It's a fetish, I'm sorry.
Well, of course, a transsexual woman who's into butch lesbians would have the fetish of Tasha's. Obviously.
Well, you know, they always have a different name. Tasha be the government name, but they always have a real hardcore name like T-Monster or, you know, something, T-Bone, something, something inviting.
Something inviting.
I like to be invited, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't want to come uninvited.
That was a joke there. But this is family TV. Okay, where we at?
This is a ride. Okay, so now when you were with Tasha and Tasha, you were already transgender?
Yes, I lived my life as a woman from the age of 21 until 35. Because I had my first baby at 37.
Yeah. And so what was their sexuality? What were Tasha's sexuality?
They were both lesbians.
So
very masculine, hardcore, but they used to come to see me. I hosted the shows in Chicago. I'm from Chicago originally, and I hosted the Underground Club, the drag shows, for 17 years successfully in the city of Chicago. So I had a lot of fans, and people would know me, and they would come out on a Monday night in a blizzard at 20 feet of snow, 16 degrees below, but they would come 300 strong on a Monday night to see Flame. So I ran Chicago. I also ran away from Chicago as I got a broken heart. I didn't know how to deal with it, so I just came to California.
Okay, well, we're happy to have you. Okay, so I hear you on that. So now you don't mind being any of the pronouns that are used. So that's different because most trans women do.
And when I say that, I think that we make way too much of that. Let me don't disrespect the girls who have fought for years to be addressed as Miss or Mrs. or what have you, or the men who have been fought to address being called Mr. But it's what you make it. Because of a slip of the tongue, if you accidentally call me Flame, sir, back right now, and me and you were talking about some cute girl in the lobby, because I still see the cute girls, and the dude in me still shows up to say, look, did you see the butt on her? You know? And so if I'm talking to you like that, and you feel like you're talking to one of the fellas and say he, that's fine for me. But if we seeing some other body else, and I'm fucking like, oh my God, who is that guy right there? And I touch your hair, and I make you feel like you're talking to a woman, and you say she, that works for me. It is not this big deal that we have to go crazy over pronouns and interjections and conjunction, junction. What's your function? Yes. Live your life, accept who you are. I know who I am. If you would have called me Mr., him, sir, I still know who I am. You don't put a label on me and I take it. What I do is throw it back at you.
Yeah, so Flame, when I watched the special, there's two things I loved about your performance. One was how funny it was.
Oh, thank you.
And two was the obvious exuding strength. Like, so what I got out of it was, here's a person who has the courage to be herself under any and all circumstances. And so it actually made me proud to be an American.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Because I thought, I mean, if in America we're not free to be us, what's the point of the country?
Well, if we don't go down and vote right now and make some changes, we won't be free to be us, because this current administration is trying to do away with us. And I'm not talking about to the LGB, I'm talking to my trans brothers and sisters. Make it happen. Stand in unity and stand in solidarity, or we're gonna be screwed. I don't know where my strength comes from. My grandmother, I would have to say that. But like I told you, Cenk, I hosted the show for so many years. So what you all saw me doing, Chicago knew for years. But we didn't have the internet. We didn't have social media. I'm just telling my age. So we didn't have any of that. So you all are just getting a taste of it. You haven't even got the Flame yet. I was very watered down and pigeonholed for that show. But rumor has it I'm gonna get an hour deal and they gonna let Flame be Flame. Baby, I'm gonna take y'all on a ride like you've never seen. Be careful of the speed bumps. They got a lump in them. I'm gonna let you sit on that, Cenk.
Okay, well, that would be a different thing, wouldn't it? Okay. So, yeah, and then I read something a little heartbreaking. I wanted to ask you about that. You talk about how the comics for a long time, your fellow comics, didn't support you. And I was both a little surprised by that, because they're supposed to be rebels. They're supposed to think outside the box, right?
Yeah,
and challenge conventional thinking, etc. And it kind of broke my heart that you'd have a great set and they wouldn't
not a fist
support
bump,
you.
not a pat on the back. But you know what, Cenk? Because I wanted to do this and it was in me, so I didn't know no other way. You know, this is what I want to do. You know, I got into some altercations with some comics, never physical, just verbal altercations, and I never backed down. And I'm going to be here now. Whether you decide to move on or not has nothing to do with me. So hopefully, I have knocked down the walls for anybody else who wants to come into the world of stand-up. And you look different, but so now you don't have to explain that you're a different person. All you have to do is show up and be funny. I took the beatings for everybody. Some of them I actually enjoyed.
You can't stop her. Okay, I'd say she didn't start the fire.
He said her, and she very good. Yeah, well, oh my God, you get a gold star.
Well,
let me say before I go, thank you, Tiffany Haddish. Thank you, Wanda Sykes and Paige Horowitz from Pusher Productions. They believed in me. They beat me like a runaway slave to make sure that I was ready for the stage, and I was ready. But you get in your head as a comic, and you don't want to go too fast, and you're pacing and you're breathing. They were wonderful. Tiffany Haddish stayed true to her word. I love that woman with everything in me. The he and the she in me adores you, Tiffany Haddish. That's a good fat girl right there in the blue dress. By the way, that was Netflix's idea for me to wear that dress. The next dress will be way more scandalous.
All right, I got to ask you one last thing. So in your set, you talk about how different races and guys, et cetera, react to you, and that most folks don't know. And I'm actually kind of blown away by that. So I mean, you look great, but to me, it's fairly clear, right?
No. I said most folks do know about me. Now, we do have some very convincing girls in this life that you would never know. I was never fortunate to be one of those girls. I was never young, and you always knew that there was something wrong or something different. Don't say wrong, Frank. No, something very different. So, and I embraced that. It saved me probably because a lot of girls who fool guys, I've never had that situation. You knew, because I still don't understand how you fool a man. This don't look like that ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
In the dark or in the light. This don't look like that.
I mean, but you talked about a football player and
those were just jokes. This is family TV. Look at him trying to get my secrets, y'all. Oh, the white folks always want all the dirt. No, some of those stories were very true, intertwined. It didn't play out like that, but it's always truth is always funner than fake.
Yeah,
so I just told the truth.
Definitely true. All right.
I didn't have to run away, and it wasn't even 5,000. It was like 3,500. But shh, don't tell nobody. Okay.
I think you just did. All right, listen. You cannot contain the fire that Flame Monroe has started. Okay, and it's true. I mean, in a lot of ways, she's a trailblazer, and so if you're transgender and you get into comedy, she lit the spark for you. Come on in.
Come on in.
The water is warm.
And you'll feel like Cenk. You'll feel like an American. I should run for office.
Well, there you go.
Well, why not? All my secrets is out.
Yeah,
I'll even show my taxes. How about that?
All right, Flame, you're awesome.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
If you like the interview that you just watched, I got great news for you. If you become a Young Turks member, you can watch them live as they happen. Only the members get that. You also get Young Turks live. You also get Aggressive Progressive live and Old School live. Everything is available for the members and commercial free. TYTnetwork.com/join.